New day, new project. I will get back to the kitchen. Just received my faucet, so that's gonna be installed soon as well. But I have Joey, come here. But I've been thinking, which I do quite often, and some time ago I was working on my tires, and it was still an issue that was not really well resolved. And since I've never really had that problem, I'm still not sure how it's gonna work out in practice. The issue is deflating my tires on rough roads. It's quite often when you go off-road, there's the times that you get stuck in sand or in mud or whatever, like the come along, as well as the traction boards and some more things to get out. But I still think that the best thing you can do is just deflate your tires, which is a great help in those kinds of problems. So the whole issue about tires and inflating and deflating them, I had that at least resolved partially. I didn't want to buy a new 12-volt inflator, so I wanted to use my old 110 inflator that I've been using for, I think, for the last 25 years, and it's just a Campbell, but it's a little bit bulky. It's 110, of course, which is not the biggest problem because I will have a inverter, but it's a thing that I've been thinking about that wasn't really quite resolved, and especially because I've never really considered deflating my tires in certain situations. I got another idea, and that is an onboard compressor. So that mainly two big brands, maybe three, the Lavalier, the ARB, as well as the Summit. So I decided to go with an onboard compressor, a pretty small one. I'm not sure whether the ARB is a knockoff or that this is a knockoff. While the ARB has some advantages, because I think they're at least built, or what is built, probably just assembled in Australia, but they're probably well tested, and so there's a whole system behind it. This is exactly the same unit, but it's a Chinese knockoff, quite a bit cheaper, but there's no service. I forget about warranty. For the rest, as far as I can tell, it's the same unit. But with these onboard compressors, there's a possibility to build them into your engine compartment. And so I started looking around, and here on the left hand side, if you look, this is the air filter compartment, and if you go in there, you see there's a whole space available for it. And when I started looking at it, I found this spot here on this sort of shelf, and it would fit in perfectly. However, it's very difficult to, at least I think, very difficult to drill holes in there. So what I think that I wanted to try is here on the side wall. That's the wheel is behind here, and drill some holes in here and attach it to the side, because it's very configurable, this compressor. That way I don't have any extra storage in my needed in my van. Joey, come on, come here. Hey, Joey, my dear friend, is how do you do that on television? Eh? Hey, eh? How you doing? How are you doing? Eh? I'll get you off. No, Joey, come here. Come on. So the advantage is that you always have the compressor at hand. I can install it permanently, so it is always connected to the battery the car battery in this case. And there's a switch inside, so you don't have to worry about that either. The only thing you have to do is connect your hose, flip the switch, and it's done. And I don't need any storage, so it's just a perfect solution if it works. So that's what I'm gonna do and try to install. So the first thing that I'll do is install the compressor in the engine compartment, and I need to drill 4 holes. So the first thing that I'll do is drill these 4 holes for the bottom plate, and it has to be fairly precise because I cannot oversize the holes. So I'm going to set that up first. So the first thing that I'll do is remove this air filter. There we go. Okay. Okay. I put my first indentation here just to indicate where the first bolt has to come. I do it from the inside out. Or what is it? From the outside in. Because it's way easier access. So I'll start with a small diameter drill. This size should be sufficient. Okay, I put that plate in with 2 temporary bolts, so just to keep it in place, and that offers me the ability to get the exact location of the third hole. Couldn't do it on the other one because there's a rib sticking out, so it's not flat, but the inside is flat, so that's why I have to, at least the initial ones, do from the inside, and then I know exactly where the hole is, and then I can continue on the outside. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. Now I can connect the compressor. This lock ring and the final nut. So by now I'm gonna secure these lock nuts. I had to disassemble the entire compressor, so now I have to put it back piece by piece. This is the main compressor. For now that doesn't give me any issues, that's good. And it's far away from everything except for this wire, but that's well protected. There will be a filter installed here, so that's easily accessible, so I can clean that regularly. I have to tighten these 2 screws, or these 2 bolts. Now I have to be careful because this, before I tighten this, there will be a connection piece here, and that will either receive it directly or through a hose. This part, that's where you can connect your hose. So either I leave it this way and I put it upwards so I can reach it from the top, or I connect it at the bottom, but for the time being I'll leave it here. And just to finish it up, I'll put some coating on it. I hope I still have enough left. Yeah. To make the car whole again, I have to replace the parts that I removed. Besides the air conditioning filter and cover, I also removed this tubing, let me say it that way, just to give me better access to that area. But I have to put that back again, so I already bought a new filter, but it was clean enough for me to keep the old one for a little bit longer. And now the tricky part is to get this back. In addition to the compressor, I needed a hose, of course. Not fond of these coiled hoses. In some instances I've heard they are quite brittle, so especially with cold temperatures, which I can encounter. So I bought the ARB hose that fits it, and it has also the components that I need to connect it to the compressor. Just takes very little space, it's about 20 feet. And it comes with a three-way connection point to the compressor, and then again, either one of those two, I can connect the hose adapter, which can be used with the hose. Oh, before I go, please pay attention to these missing children. If you have any information, please call the appropriate number. Hi guys, this is Joey and we're building a one-of-a-kind RV. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like and subscribe. Or better yet, leave a comment. Thanks guys. You've done a good job.